Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. We have another season review for you. Today we are talking about the local club, Sydney FC. I mean, the grand final is very close. It is on Saturday. Depending on when you're watching this, it is on Saturday. I'm not in Sydney for that, so I won't be able to go. I could have vlogged it for you, but I'm not going to be in Sydney. But we got to talk about Sydney FC. Yeah, I've got a lot of things to say about the state of the football club right now. I think our home record this year was absolutely abysmal. I probably don't even remember. I think we maybe won one game that I went to this season when we played at home. Just absolutely shocking. I think that Corica's time is up. They won't sack him because they've got to pay for that. They've got to obviously pay him out to sack him because, he got signed an extension. But he won't leave either, so that's the issue that we have. I just don't think his style of football is the right way. We've been playing his style of football for like 3 years. It's just Arnie ball, cross into the box, cross into the box, cross into the box, cross into the box. And then whenever we change it up, okay, we win. But then we just go back to, okay, cross in the box, cross in the box, cross in the box. And that's just not football. That's just boring football. And we've been playing that style of football since Graham Arnold was coach, and it's just nothing's changing. I think our squad needs a whole rebuild. Honestly, I think our squad needs a rebuild. If I just go over the whole positions for you, I can name at least the starting 11, maybe at least 7 of them need to go. Redmayne, I've said this from the beginning, and I will maintain this point. It's a very unpopular opinion, but I will maintain this point that Redmayne needs to go. He's had to go since we signed him. He's just not a very intelligent goalkeeper. Now, I'm not a goalkeeper, so I can't really talk about goalkeeping that much, and many of the goalkeepers that I know slander me for talking about Redmayne, but my dad was basically on the verge of being a pro goalkeeper, so we're just going to go off that, and same with my brother. Redmayne is useless. He's always off his line. He's cost us so many goals. The only good trade he has is penalties, and they're literally removing that rule where you can't move off your line, so he's literally going to be useless when that rule comes in. I don't know how he's a Socceroo. But now that Howard Bell's gone, who I loved, what a great keeper, are we going to start Pavlesevic? No, he's not going to start because it's Corica. He doesn't like young players. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I think Redmayne needs to go. If you're talking about centre-backs, Donaki also needs to go. That man is made out of glass. And Rodwell was good, like Rodwell. Wilkinson's old, just let him retire at the club. That's fine. He can retire at the club. I'll allow that. Fullbacks, my goodness, our fullback. Our left back position, disgraceful. Joel King, that man, I've never seen anything more useless in my life. That Sydney derby, that 4-0, useless. And Caballo, the Spanish guy, don't know where we found him. I know where we found him, but useless too. He's just went with Corica ball. If he didn't know what to do, he's just like, okay, I'm just going to whip it in. Just going to whip it into no one. To when we're versing Melbourne City and their defenders are 6'4", and we've got Lafondra, he's tall, but not 6'4". Joel King, just let him go back. I knew he was on loan. Don't recall him. Let him stay to wherever he played. And Caballo could leave too. We have so many better fullback options that we just could get around the league. I just miss Geordie Boys. What a fullback he was. We just have Nzulo. When Nzulo was fit, he was a great player. I'd love to take Simmons back. That'd be great, just because we're mates. But anyway, right back, I think that's sorted. Ryan Grant, good. We love Ryan Grant. He'll stay where he is. Midfielders, Bratton. I love Bratton. I think he's got that hunger in him that the club needs. He's got that drive, that determination. He puts in 110%. I love him. Max Burgess, same as well. That goal in the derby, we won't forget that. People will say it was a successful season because we made the top 6, but I really don't think it was. Okay, cool, the derby win was nice in the semi-final, but Melbourne City just outclassed us in the semis. We're not at par with Melbourne City. I don't even think we're at par with Central Coast either, and that's a problem if we want to win the league because they're the best 2 teams, and I think our squads are far below what their squads are. So now we'll go back to our squad. Rattray, that man needs to go too. Paulo Rattray, very, very inconsistent footballer. I don't know what he does, but Corica loves him. He's a bit like James Milner for Klopp, except, James Milner left, but that's because he's old. Rattray, he just makes too many mistakes in the midfield, and when he doesn't know what to do, he does a Granit Xhaka and passes sideways or passes it backwards. And that's like, I could do that. You put me on the pitch at Sydney FC and I don't know what to do. Okay, I'll just pass it sideways to Robert Mack or to Caceres. Like, those two players I think we should keep. Everyone thinking, oh, Robert Mack wasn't that good. Robert Mack, great player. I think we got to keep him. That European experience is what we need. Yeah, Caballo has it, but Caballo played in like the Segunda division in Spain. Like, cool. Robert Mack played for Balk and Slovan Bratislava and played in like European football. And he even gets called up to the national team when he's playing for Sydney FC. Like, you know you're good when you have a European team, like, you know, Slovakia, calling you up for the national team when you're playing for Sydney FC. I mean, Mark Genko should have had that when he was playing here for Austria. Anthony Caceres as well. Don't want to get rid of him. I think he's been our best player for the past few seasons. And since Ninko left, he's got to kind of fill that void. I think Caceres is a top player. I think his ability on the ball is the best in the club, and I think he needs to stay 100%. Adam Lafondra as well. I think it'd be nice to have someone younger next to him. I mean, Patrick Wood's good too, but I think someone younger next to him. A-League experience. Can't really think of anyone off the top of my head, really. I mean, Jeremy McLaren would be nice. He'd be cool. I just don't think that'd ever happen. I think A-League players is what we need. We need players that are playing in the A-League right now. Craig Goodwin, that would be enough. That's it. The tip of the iceberg would be Craig Goodwin. If we could manage to secure him, done deal. That'd be great. I just don't think it would happen because, again, Sydney FC love their squad too much. Yeah, we brought in Rodwell and Caballo and Mack and Lolly. Lolly's a good player too. He suffered injury at the end of the season, but also a nice guy. On the bench, we don't really have much on the bench, to tell you the truth. I know Segic is probably going to go to Wanderers. If you didn't hear that before, you've heard it here first. Gertwood Reich, he's okay. I mean, I haven't really seen these players play much because when Corica uses his bench, it's always like Retre on the bench or Lafondra's on the bench, and they'll come on instead of the youth, which is another problem as to why Corica needs to go. We have so much youth, we have a whole MPL system of youth players that we can pick up, and he just doesn't really use them. I mean, Parsons, I don't even know what he did this season. He wasn't from MPL, but just saying. Gerd was good. I think Gerd's a good centre-back. The games that he had to start for Sydney FC, for a young lad, calm and collected, which I think is good. I think, again, what we need is a new centre-back. I think we need a whole new back line. Centre-backs need to go, the ones I said, and we need a new left-back, and obviously Ryan Grant needs to stay. We need a new goalkeeper. Again, I don't think that's going to happen, but there's just so many better goalkeepers that I can think of off the top of my head. Lawrence Thomas. There's many players many better goalkeepers. Even my local goalkeepers are better. I'm just being flat out. I just don't really rate him at all. I don't understand how he's got a pro contract. Janjetovic was great and Vukovic was great. We went literally from the top of the top. We went from chicken souvlaki and gyros to pasticho. Like, you can't go from that to that. You know what I mean? If we can get a new centre-back, get a new left-back, I can see us competing. Not to the likes of Melbourne City and Central Coast. They're just a different level. And I think Melbourne City are going to become like Man City of the A-League. They're just going to be winning it constantly. They're going to jump past and be more successful. I just think that's what we need. We need to get rid of those midfielders that I've mentioned. And I think we need another striker. A young striker. Luka Ivanovic should never have left because he was a good player too. But of course, Corica and being the way he is, got rid of him. And Neuenhoff. All these players that he gets rid of and just doesn't give them a chance is what annoys me the most. Is that we have so many young players that he can give a chance and he just doesn't give them the chance because he loves his squad too much. It's good to love your squad. I think, of course, it's good to love your squad, but you need to give players chances. Like, it's simple. If these players want to be pro footballers, they've got to where they are. So it obviously means that they can kick a ball, They've got to play. And if you're not playing them, then they're going to go elsewhere and become even better players like Aidan Simmons, good friend, Callum Neuenhoff, like Luka Ivanovic. I mean, he's been a bit up and down, but Brisbane Roar's bad to begin with. So many players like that, and I just don't think we have that ability to be like, oh, CDFC want me, I'm going to go to CDFC. We don't have that anymore. We used to have it when we were winning, when we win the finals back to back. We used to have that. okay, I want to go Sydney FC, they want me, I'm going to go. I'm going to get an A-League championship. But now we just don't have that anymore. Now it's Melbourne City. We've got to bring that culture back to the club. And I think the first thing we need to do is to get rid of Corica. Now you ask me, who can replace him? All the good Australian coaches are gone, really. Like, the Aloisis are both gone. I mean, Ufak Tilly's available, the assistant coach. No, sorry, our old assistant coach. He's available, as I know of. I mean, Graham Arnold, have him back. Cool. Yeah, there's just like even many Australian legends that you could easily call to do the job. Harry Kewell's at Celtic. I'm sure he'd take a head coach job. He gets to be back home. But again, it's that if you're coaching in Europe, you don't want to come back to Australia to coach the A-League. That's just the way it is. But anyway, that's been my Sydney FC review. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know a few people are not going to be too thrilled with what I've had to say. But at the end of the day, we're fans, okay? We're allowed to have an opinion. We give the club money to fund. Without us, they're not a club. So I think that's the best thing to do. I don't want to talk about the decision, about the grand final, none of that. We don't need to worry about that. Yeah, anyway, let's get me to 700 subs. We're almost there. If you don't follow Mavro Productions on Instagram, be sure to do that at Mavro Productions. And there is actually a charity match Instagram at Charity Match Official. Be sure to follow that because we're going levels next year. We're talking, halftime entertainment. We're talking maybe a new trophy. We're talking new kits, new draw and everything. Actually, since we're here, I can show you some of the prizes. Speaking of the A-League, I think it's only fitting that I show you that this will be at the Raffle for the charity match for next year. A nice signed Newcastle Jets kit. If you didn't see it on the charity match and Mavro Production page, there it is. A nice Newcastle kit for you. And for my music fans, I don't know how many of you really like country music as much as I do. But a artist has sent some signed memorabilia. And yeah, he couldn't perform it, couldn't make it on the day. So he sent me a nice photo, Casey Barnes, shout out, and a signed album cover, CD, as you can see. There it is, there. You've got the disc, whatever. I don't know what this is, but there's something else in here, which I actually haven't seen before. And this, the lyrics of the songs, okay? There you go, right in there for you. Be sure to come to the next charity event. It's going to be amazing. Again, all proceeds go to Paradise for Kids. We're going to have a commentary team. We're going to do a live stream, so it's going to be a lot better, okay? Stay tuned for that, and don't forget to
subscribe to Mavro Productions.